Hi Quilters, it's Pam Heller from AccuQuilt. Okay, 2018, we are releasing all sorts of new dies, and this one is a bucket list quilt die. So for some of you, you've already heard about pineapple, and it's such a great traditional pattern. But to cut pineapple pieces for our pineapple block, you would have to cut the pieces and cut off the dog ears and sew them all together, or there's a die for that. So this is our new pineapple die. So let me talk about it real quick. So just like all of our regular Go dies, it can cut up to 6 layers of cotton fabric in one pass. All of the pieces you need to make one 10-inch block are on this die board. We call that a bob, a block on board. So now listen, in the past, I have taken a magic marker and marked the letters for my pieces for some of the dies that we've used in the past. We've screen printed them on for you. You're welcome. Okay, so let's talk about this die. So all of the pieces are here, and look, we've cut off special dog ears. These aren't our typical 1/4 inch, you know, cut off the dog ear kind of thing. These are special just for the pineapple block. Also, you can use this die on either your Go Baby, your Go fabric cutter, or your Go Big. So all 3 of those. So let's talk about the pattern that comes with it. So this is called Fiery Pineapple. So quilters, you're going to want to keep the packaging that this die comes in, because on the back it's going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to sew this block together. So today I'm going to show you how we've started to sew the block together, and then we'll kind of do some step outs so that you can see. And you can make this beautiful wall hanging back here. So look how fun this is. So we've used, traditionally, you use 2 colors. We've used white and red, but you could also make it scrappy. You could make it black and white if you were a modern quilter. Wouldn't that be fun? So it's a great way to bust up your stash, a great way to use up your scraps. So let's cut some fabric and show you how it works. So this die, just like all of our other Go dies, you want to have that label at your belly, the lengthwise grain of the fabric back and forth across the die board. So I'm going to take one of my pieces of batiks. We'd like to thank our friends at Island Batiks for their donation of our fabric for our project today. So going to find that lengthwise grain nice and tight. Now I'm just going to barely cover the shape. Lengthwise grain back and forth across the die board. So watch this. So I put one piece here, and I'm following the instructions, and I'm going to put 2 pieces here. Now this is the contrast section, so I'm going to put 4 pieces of white here. Again, that lengthwise grain back and forth across the die board, and then we're going to put 4 pieces down here in the end. So that's not typically how we cut fabric using our dies, but in this situation you want to make sure that when you're doing this that you cut it that same way. So I'm going to put it on our cutting mat. And look at this. So I'm using my Go fabric cutter, but you could use your Go Baby or your Go Big. This is such a fun block to do. All right, now it's a little bit static here in the Dream Studio, so I'm going to give it some love. And then I'm going to slide that mat right off there, just like this. Now, quilters, I'm going to give you a little tip. What you want to do is you want to peel back the fabric that you've cut, and then you want to keep the shapes on the die board, because let me just tell you, at 2 o'clock in the morning some of these pieces look very similar. So if you keep them right here, then you can say, oh look, here's piece E, and that way you always know where they are. So it's kind of a fun little tip. All right, so I'm going to pull these back just like this. Okay, and you can see how perfect that cut. So now what I'm going to do is I've already started this particular block. So this is our center block. So this is piece A, and these are piece B. So I'm just going to come right here and find my piece B right there. Look, it says piece B. So now I can put these right here. We're going to sew them together. So quilters, what we want to do is we're creating a square and a square. So what you want to do is you want to line up these pieces opposite sides. That's the easiest way to sew this block together. So I'm going to line up my pieces just like this. We've cut off those dog ears, so it's going to be perfect. And you want to bring your patience. And I'm just going to pin right here. Look at this. You are going to love making this block. All right. Put another pin on this side. All right, so we're going to come right here and we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam. So quilters, here's what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm going to tell you to cut all of those first squares for the square and a square, so piece A. Once you cut all your pieces first, stack them up so that when you're doing this, you can just chain stitch. So since AccuQuilt is 90% faster than with rotary cutters or scissors to cut, this is actually faster to sew as well, okay? So I'm going to come right here, make sure I have that great 1/4 inch seam there. Then I'm going to flip it and do the other side. All right, then we have our little iron here. So quilters, you want to follow those instructions on the packaging so you know how to press it. So I'm actually going to press it away. Look at that. Okay. Perfect. So now you can see that I have created this center block. So that's square and a square. So then we're going to take additional pieces. So here's our next group. So now we're going to continue to build on this square and a square. So now we're going to have piece C. So I'm going to come right here. Oh, that's H. I'm going to find my piece C, which is going to be right here. And then quilters, you're going to just follow the instructions. So when we piece these together, remember we're always going to start on opposite sides. We're going to sew opposite sides, press them open, and continue all the way around the block. So you're going to get right here. Look at this. And then you're going to add 2 of piece F, and then you can finish off the rest of the block. So this is really a great pattern. So think about it, quilters, think about how much time we're saving because you don't have to do that paper piecing, and we've cut off the dog ears. You're welcome. So where can you get our new pineapple die? You can get one at your local signature retailer or at AccuQuilt.com. At AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.